waiting for Dylan to get connected here. It's my channel. Okie dokie. Let's start drawing, or coloring rather. Ugh. It's too short. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to put on the power glove here. Alright. First, I gotta change up this background. Because, let's get rid of the people first. Okay, so I need to mask this background a little bit because we have the vases on a separate layer, so I need to get rid of the foreground thing here. That's it. Cool. Now, we have here is, man, wish he'd done this a little different. I need is to kind of vary up these colors a little bit. So that's all right. This one shouldn't even be the same color at all. Do like a wood floor thing. Should do some reference, it'll be good. little exercise. Oh yeah, I already picked some of these colors out for the last page, so I should open that up for my reference. Let's go into. Here we go. All right, and then I always touch my nose because my beard itches my nose. Okay, everything in the foreground. Background rendering. Okay. So this is a great. So what you need to do is split single layer. Folder. Sure. This will have speed things up a lot, actually. So, all right. Here. Find the file. Okay. A flat version of this. This will be our. Okay, Dylan's phone. Hello.
Hi, sorry, this guy called me who never calls me. I was like, oh, hi, is everything okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, well, can I call you back later today? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I'll call you back.
Like a student or somebody or some
No, it was a friend of mine, but I just hadn't talked to him in a while, and he certainly never calls at 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was like, hey, is everything okay?
Yeah.
So, but I was like, dude, I gotta go stream. I gotta go.
Yeah. Very important business.
Sorry, I was late.
Oh, no, that's no worries. Yeah, it's just getting set up and stuff. So, but yeah.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, just same old. Most part.
How's the cat?
Oh, he's a lot better. Yeah. He's thanks for asking. He's just really bounced back. He got the energy again. He's definitely got the appetite.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And yeah, really good. Yeah, he's pretty much 100%. Like his breathing is like almost pretty much just normal now. So yeah, really happy with what happened. So I'm not sure exactly what thing we did helped. He might have just been sick and would have gotten over it anyway, but
yeah, sometimes they seem to do that. They just I don't know. They just need a little attention. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom was kind of preparing me for the worst because she took care of all my dogs growing up. So
she had to see that.
Yeah, well, not growing up. Like after I left, basically. Well, I did have one dog. Yeah. My one dog died, and she was just remembering. I didn't remember this, but she was telling me how he died when I was like 12, I think. But like, we spent like $3,000 on getting him surgery and all this stuff or something at like some hospital. And he lived about another month and then he died anyway. But, and she's just like, don't, waste all your money. Money's not, don't have a lot of money right now. So
right.
You should, kind of don't just,
don't go crazy.
Don't go crazy. Yeah, exactly. Don't go crazy for, Yeah. So, but yeah, and it's hard. You just don't know. Like, I mean, she was making a point. Like, animals will just go downhill, real fast sometimes, and there's just
Right.
no. And then he is such a, I think he's technically an elderly cat, so it's hard to know, what's going to
Sure.
happen. So, but anyway, he is good now, so we're happy.
Good.
Yeah.
And how's the con? So how much do you have left? How far in are you?
For this comic or which?
Yeah.
This is uh, I'm working coloring 13 and 14, and 15 is the last page. So I am almost done. Actually, he asked me to do a cover, so now I have to do a cover and I have to make up a logo to go with the cover. But so that's good. So I'll have another shit. Actually, man, I need to because it's a Halloween comic. So I'm like, dude, we got to put this thing out in like a week or something. I want to send him the layout for the last page so I can get started. Doing the inks on that this week. While
Yeah.
I'll color these, today and some other days. But yeah, need to get on it. But yeah, and then
So wait, you have one page and then the cover?
Yeah. What will to draw? Yeah, and then have to color. Yeah, color everything. So man, it's gonna be a rush. I didn't think about the cover. We didn't really talk about it yet, so I didn't even really think about it. Which of course we'd want to cover. So, but.
Oh, I'm listening to your stream. I can hear me.
Oh, maybe you're coming through on the desktop audio. Dude, guess what I have now?
What? A dual monitor?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, baby.
Audio output capture. Interesting. No, it doesn't have desktop audio. Let me see. Audio output capture.
Okay, then we're gonna get a little loop there for a second.
Okay.
I wonder if I can put your because if I could put your browser in, but actually
there. Okay, just mute. I think I muted that, so that should. It's interesting desktop. Okay, hopefully that'll work. We'll see. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
sounded good on.
Yeah.
You heard my voice is up, but I think if I can just get rid of. Well, you can mute. Well, you don't have my browser in your window, right?
No. I need to come up with a new overlay with a space for you.
Right. So I'm thinking if I put, where is the browser? If I put the browser source in, but I mute the browser source.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm wondering if I could do that.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm wondering if I can do that. Oh, I hear.
Going back in time.
I hear you. It's not.
You don't think it's that?
Wait, can you talk?
Yeah, saying stuff.
I hear it. I hear you. It's not. Wait. Shit. The browser. It's like looping.
You have me open the browser. You can't just mute the browser that you're looking at, or
it's muted, but it's not muted.
Interesting. Let me look at.
Hold on.
Yeah, mine's. I'm muting my own stream,
Okay.
so it should be looping. That.
I don't know, because I think what happens is that. Oh, was it? Oh, it's looping your end. You're saying?
Well, no, I'm watching mine, but it's on mute, so it shouldn't be coming through again.
Okay, let me try again then. Because if I mute it and mute, oh, you're saying maybe I was getting your end of the audio.
Yeah, I thought maybe. Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Oh, you're saying maybe I was getting your. Okay. I still hear me.
Let me do the.
Wait, hold on. Let me mute it. Hold on, it's not muted.
Well, yeah.
I still hear me. Let me do the. Wait, hold on. Let me mute it. Hold on. It's not muted. No. Wait, let's keep talking.
Yeah. Okay.
I hear you a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's got to be. It's some sort of a loop. That's the problem with us, like talking. We're talking and hearing each other through.
Right.
Are you sure you're not watching your own stream and it's looping on audio on there?
Yeah, I don't have it on there.
Yeah. Or I'm,
I
I'm you know
could.
I'm muted
I
on.
could.
Okay. Here, let me do the audio output and see if that works. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I think. I mean, I think that would be the ideal. Okay. You see. Yeah, saying stuff, saying words, using words, speaking English. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Okay, great. Yeah, I know. It's it's not maybe ideal. Yeah. I think oh, that's weird. Let's do this. No. Oh, okay. I mean, it's probably good that I can't. So yeah, it's it's like a paradox. I don't know. It's like because we have to figure out the. Oh, I can hear that now. Yeah, I just heard that. Yeah, there you go. Okay, let's bring it down. So that you don't hear it, you mean? Or low? That's a good question. Yeah. Oh, why didn't it? Didn't change any of these. Crap. Dude, I bet done so many pages. It's probably I can't imagine what it is like to. Hmm. No. What? Oh yeah, it's just I still got to get used so I can just look over and see your whole thing. I don't have to like shrink down my whole. Uh, no, I think I know what I did wrong. Oh, it's about to open, I think. Wow. Wow. That's great. Wow. Mm-hmm. Is that the one where it's like looking over them that we started last week? Yeah, I want to see it. I saw like a little thing of it. I don't know if it's the final or on Facebook or whatever. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, looks really good. Very ominous. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh right. Yeah. Ah, what's wrong with me? Okay. Okay. Cool. That's one thing I need to do. Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, because he's like, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh. So the stuff he's is happening is because okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah. I never noticed that your dragon is like a dog. That's cool. No, I like it. That's such a cool like blend. I don't think I've ever seen that done before. Yeah. No, that's yeah, it's brilliant. Crap. Yeah. Nice. Can you uh, can can you look at my page whenever you have a second? Just because yeah, yeah, it's the whole flatted page here. Because it's on the last panel. I feel like the background, everything looks too big compared to the characters. I need to shrink. Like the table looks too big. Uh, like especially that monster guy is supposed to be pretty big. He's supposed to be like 7, almost 8 feet tall. Like when he's standing up, so that thing behind him looks massive. So, yeah. Oh, he missed. Yeah, everything. Yeah, Yeah. Yeah. Oh, crap. Let me do that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's gonna be paint. I just have to draw more now. I'm gonna have to like basically extend everything, but it's fine. Yeah, I can resize what I have, but then I need to like because I'm shrinking it. There's gonna be like it's gonna kind of stop. So I need to. It's fine. I just well, I did. Yeah. No, I did. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to, but then but I have to. I mean, yeah, like there's only so much. You know what? Why is there stuff behind here? Oh, that's why. Okay. No, because like the things like the bamboo things here like don't aren't going off the page right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I need to draw like things like that. So let me figure out a thing. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I mean, I could, but I'm just gonna shrink the whole thing down. What I think I'm gonna do is actually move the table over to the left. Just trying to figure out a good place for the windows and then I just need to figure out move my. I have a perspective grid that I need to then the perspective. Okay. Well, I want them to be like right near the. I mean, the window would be like a because they're like sitting on the ground now, so the window would be. I don't know how delayed it is, but the window would be above. I could change all of this. It's really a simple background, and the vase and the table and all that's the hard stuff. I could. Yeah. Actually, yeah, this might be a good idea. Maybe I like it this size. The window and the door are so basic that that doesn't matter. So I like the vase here. Yeah, yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's also weird. Like I tried to draw him. I don't know if it comes across, but I want to draw him. He's like a normal guy in a suit, so his head looks small because the suit is what makes him look big. He's not actually that big. Okay. Uh, nice. Nice. Yeah, luckily this is just a 1 point perspective, so I just dude, it's so easy. Just go in Photoshop, make you just cut out whatever you don't like, whatever windows you want. What I would do is like do a screenshot or something of your window, so figure out what space you need, right? Like, yeah, I think it's 16 by 9 is probably the standard, or 19. It's 1080, right? 1920 by 1080. So I just made a new um, file in Photoshop and just filled it with that size, and then brought it over to the um, a file that was actually that large, right? Because that's probably what your stream is capturing, and then shrunk it down so it's that that proportional. Because you're basically like, yeah, you need 1920 by 1080 overall for your the size of the mask, and then within that you need a hole that's about that size, that proportion. Dude, my Cintiq, I need a new Cintiq. It's driving me nuts. The buttons keep popping up, and yeah, it's weird. It's like, have I told you about this? Like when you on your monitor, you go to change like the color, the mode or whatever, like your monitor settings, so you can change it to whatever you want, like VGA your connections and stuff. It's the buttons you never use on your monitor. So for some reason, those commands keep popping up on my screen. And I can press a button to make them go away, but they just keep popping up over and over again. I think it's just because, I mean, this thing is 10 years old. It's wait, no, it's more than that. Or let's think. Yeah, I think I bought it in about 2010. So something like that, 2010, 2011. So yeah, this is an old. I mean, I've gotten my my use out of it. So what I need to get is I should keep an eye out for a used HD one, because this one isn't even HD. So if I could upgrade to an HD, that would be nice. My new monitor is HD, and like I can kind of tell a little bit of a difference with it when I put stuff on there. So, dude, the monitor I got, I really like it. Like it turns vertical, and it goes up and down. I actually have on like the lowest setting, but it goes up like 6 or 10 inches or something. It swivels back and forth. Yeah, you can tilt it. Like I actually have it tilted a little bit back, like my Cintiq, because I feel like I'm so used to looking at the Cintiq that looking at a flat monitor is kind of weird next to it. Um, but yeah, it's like $150, and it's like supposed to be some color. Like it comes with some sort of color certificate. Yeah, there's some certificates like certified color accuracy or something like that. So it looks good to me. I don't pay too much attention to that, but it definitely doesn't look off. Oh, they look different. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think the main thing with that is just whatever. Like if you ever print stuff, like you've printed your comics, like whatever looks closest to the print. Obviously, that's like the Cintiq. Whenever I print stuff, I never have a problem. So I just kind of the Cintiq is my basis for judging colors for me. Yeah, I imagine they're pretty calibrated for color. You'd think, but I know you're supposed to get one of those like color, like I don't know, those color adjuster things. But yeah. All right, so I actually need to get rid of some things here. Travis Ames, yeah, nice. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I always look for stuff. I don't really see him posting anything like on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram, but okay, yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, I definitely want to work with him on my web thing at some point once I get some more stuff down. But now I'm like running out of money, so I'm like, before I was like, man, I have so much money, I should hire people. I should have done it when I did, but yeah, a little bit, yeah. I don't know, man. I might have to get a job in the new year. It's gonna be a stretch. I mean, I just wish I could plow through these comics, but it's just like I'm always trying to do more, like this and whatever. But um, it's really hard to. Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, it should. Yeah, it's just hard, like having to do other stuff around the house, go shopping, like whatever else. It's just. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. No, yeah, I know. It's just a lot of work. Because I don't feel like I'm slow. I feel like when I sit down and work, like sometimes I'll work. Like the other day, I was like, I set a timer for half an hour, and I inked like several things, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's not like I got, I felt like I got stuff done. I wasn't sitting there like hemming and hawing over it, like, I was like, no, just do this and do that, that. Okay, cool. But I think having being able to do that, you know, nonstop for 10 hours, yeah, 12 hours. That's the hard part. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, what I think we need to do is figure out. I mean, I was reading. Did you ever read Chew, the Image comic Chew, about the guy who can like get memories from dead things? It's like a comedy. Are you there? Oh, damn it. You know what? You hung up on me, dude. No, I'm just kidding. I finally talked to Spectrum the other day, and they said they sent a like what they say it like a signal thing, like a reset signal to my router. So hopefully maybe that did something. I was talking to the guy and he's like, "Yeah, do you want me to send out a guy?" I was like, "Sure." And then right after he said that, like it just like I didn't hear him for a while, and I was like, "Oh, maybe he's like, you know, transferring or talking to a different department or something." And he just never came back, and I was like, "Oh, cool." but, but it really wasn't. Oh yeah, yeah, right, yeah. So, but I don't know. So I might try him again if it's still crashing, but I don't think it happened at all yesterday, which is surprising. Um, you said you don't have HBO Max or HBO. Yeah, that's what it's called, right? Yeah, HBO Max. No, okay. Well, because that program, that app or whatever. Oh my god, it's like the slowest thing in the universe. I don't know why, but like, well, HBO Go was pretty bad already, and then it's pretty much the same app. They just added more stuff to it. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's like you go on there now, and it's just like it just constantly like you click on the show. It's like hit play, and then you hit play, whatever, play the show. Hit play, nothing happens, and you're like, what? Like, why didn't anything happen? And then it'll just sit there, and then like you'll go back and try to do other stuff to try to figure it out, and then like a couple of minutes later, it'll start to show. You're like, really? Like, there's just such a crazy delay on it. I don't know why their whatever back end is obviously like not nearly as robust as like Netflix or Hulu or anything like that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. Especially they're owned by who's it, Universal, I think. Warner Brothers. There you go. Yeah. So they got some money. Got a little change. But anyway. But yeah. So now I can catch up on the kayfabes because I have a second monitor. So now I can. I know, right? Oh, we were talking about time management or whatever before. I was gonna say like, did you ever read Chew, the comic about some? Okay, there you go. Okay, yeah, it's a good gift. Dude, you got to read that. I tell you about Outer Darkness, his new one. Oh God, you got to read. That's like the best comic. The writer, and actually, yeah. They did a crossover of Chew and Outer Darkness, which was fun. There's like a 3-issue little like thing, which is fun to watch the new artist draw Chew people and watch the Chew guy draw the Outer Darkness stuff. But yeah, it's just really fun. But basically, the guy John Layman, the guy who drew Chew, I was reading some interview with him, and he was talking about how he's like crazy about time management and like being efficient and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah, that's really smart. Like he's talking about, he's like, I want to be done in whatever 8, 9, maybe 10 hours max, because he has kids and everything else. So I was like, that's the goal. Is like I think David, what's his name? The guy that does BPRD stuff. Guy Davis. Yeah. I think someone told me he's like, or somewhere online it said like, yeah, he's crazy. Like he's like he only works 8 hours a day. Like that's it. He works 9 to 5, and then that's it. And then I think that's the goal. Is like, all right, you got to figure. It's kind of instead of like, how do I get put enough hours to get everything I want done? It's like, how do I make it so that everything I need to get done gets done in this amount of time? So I think that's the sustainable model, but it's hard because drawing comics is freaking hard. So we should all just start tracing photographs. Is probably what we should just start doing. Yeah, but you're good. I mean, you're getting good at using the reference and stuff. I think that's key. And I'm cheating as much as I can with Clip Studio, and I'll definitely use. I straight up been tracing a lot of horses for Empty Grave. I found this one cool. Actually, let me see if I can find it for you. I was going to do this really kind of standard pose for this guy, like riding in to town. Well, he's riding in, and these guys are like aiming guns at him. But I was looking at horse poses, just trying to find the kind of a better version of what I had sketched out. But then when I went into it, when I was searching, I just found this other image. I was like, oh, dude, I need to do that. Like, that's just such a cool image, So let me find. It's the one I just finished. Where are you, dear? Thanks. Okay. I think it should pop up here. I put color notes. But yeah, it's this one. Can you see on the screen? You see the. Oh, do you have unlimited data? That. Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah. Going on, yeah. That's a great question. I wonder how my computer's doing. Yeah, because I traced it. Because I mean, I could draw a decent horse, but like originally I was drawing that from like the back, like he's riding. I'm gonna do like riding away from you like this, and he's just like on the horse, like, and it was just such a boring shot. And then I found that I was like, oh no, that horse is like galloping. It was like the horse just coming in from the side, and then I just drew everything around and added the guy on top and the saddle and all that. So, but yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. Oh, I did. I drew this horse though. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I know. And you know who I'm looking at right now? I have a bunch of. Do you ever go on Comic Art Fans? Oh, dude, you gotta. Here, I'll send you this one. It's just original art. It's original art pages, and the people that own them or whatever just put up. But I have James Heron's stuff open right now, and I should send you this other guy too, Riley Rossmo. I really love his stuff. He's got really cool stuff. But it just shows you like they have a ton of energy, and just looking at their originals and stuff, and you're like, man, that's. I think it's just comes with time. I do find myself getting more comfortable and doing, pushing myself a little more, but it's hard. To me, it's all about like storytelling, right? So like, first of all, for me, I want everything to be clear. I want you to know what's happening here, what's this person doing there, like. So I don't want you to not understand. So I feel like it's just I think it's just practice, and then being able to kind of branch out a little more uh, beyond that basic storytelling, and I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it's like you just kind of keep stuff in mind, and then later on, as you're working, it'll start to kind of come through. I need to do. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's also like trying to draw in that style, like trying to add some of that to your, our respective styles, like in a way, like just in sketches or whatever, just in like little studies, just to be like, how could I do that? Because right now, yeah, it's all like I'm like I could try it, but then I'll just like mess up a drawing I'm doing, and it'll just look like an ugly drawing. It's not gonna look like a cool. Yeah, 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 yes, exactly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only thing I give myself credit for is I just don't stop. Like I know it's really hard because you're like, oh man, I'm working on this stuff for so long, but it's like that's the only way it gets done sometimes. It's just it's not gonna, it can take literally like if you take years to draw something, it's like, well, it did it. You did it. I don't know. Like there's not that's not really the wrong. You didn't stop. And if it takes that long, I mean, sometimes if you, I know it's like that one guy. Weren't we sharing that one guy's stuff where he's like, it took me 6 years to draw this graphic novel or something. You're like, oh my god, like, yeah, 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 something like that, yeah. But yeah, that was interesting. But you're like, okay, do that once, and then like he was saying, like, don't ever do that again. Like, don't. That's not the right way to do it. Like, that learn from your mistakes or whatever. No, we could probably find it if we Google a little bit, like on YouTube. I bet there's got to be. Oh, you actually bought it. Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. But yeah, I mean, but it's taken me. How long does it take me to draw the empty grave? Like, I mean, that's why I stopped because I was working on the first two for like, each one took me almost a year because I was working full time doing it, and stuff like that. So, and then especially the second one, I actually, what happened with the second one? The second one, yeah, it killed. Man, that I'm trying to remember now because the second one, yeah, I think I was coloring it when I moved to LA. Like I think I told him I didn't want to draw it anymore because I was like, I was just burned out on working on one project for so long, and I was like I wanted to try to do some of my own writing and drawing and stuff. And but then like the colorists, we had so many problems with the colorists, like not doing a good job and quitting and stuff. And the initial guy got really sick, which was really sad, and like he couldn't finish it. But it was like just one thing after another, so I had to come on and do the colors for it, which is it's fine. But I mean, then after that, I was just burnt out. I was like, I just need to take a break and do something else. Um, but so then I took the break, and now it's fun to come back to it because I've had some time to do some other stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's do another one of those. But I was able to come in and it I oh yeah, definitely, yeah, he's great, yeah, he's paid me the whole time, and actually he gave me a raise because when we were talking about when I was doing the first pages of the when I was doing it, like I was originally doing a fill in, like I was doing like these like flashback scenes and stuff like that. I was just gonna do that for this last issue, but then he was like, well, I don't know, he had someone else in mind, but he hadn't had them start yet, and he was like, well, if you want, do you just want to finish it with me and then come back and do the last issue because I'd already done 10 pages or something. And I was like, well, yeah, let's do it. So, yeah, and then that was my justification for not having a job right now. I was like, I'll just do this until the new year and this will pay my bills. But, uh, yeah, right. I know. Well, but it's just time. It's just I'm slow. So it's like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, but yeah, it was good, and I'm glad I was able to go and do like half breed and stuff because that was like really gave me I had I had this goal in mind where I was like I want to be able to finish my own thing because it's hard. Well, you always done your own thing, but like, I think as someone who was just drawing for others for so long, but had my own ideas, you're kind of like, man, like, yeah, to have the wherewithal to actually like be your own boss and finish. And yeah, Half Breed took me like a year, just like the 7 page story. It took me so long. I moved here and oh yeah, yeah. Well, I moved here and then I was I met Brenda like right away. So I was like, yeah, and and finishing. Yeah, I realized I was coloring pretty much half. I colored like 15 or 18 pages of Empty Grave too, and yeah. So I was definitely doing other things. So that was definitely a challenge. So, but I finished it, and I was like, yeah, at the end. You know what I need to do on one of these live streams? I don't know when I'll ever have time, but actually, once I finish this comic, maybe next month, um, since I won't have as much digital stuff to do because Empty Grave is mostly it's kind of a hybrid, but most of the stuff I do is on Procreate on the iPad, so I can't do that here. But uh, I want to finish the cover for Specimen because like that book is done, like it's completely done. The only thing I need to do is the cover, and then yeah. So I was thinking that would be a good thing for me to work on during one of these hangouts. So yeah. So what do you keep referencing there? It's like a flats thing. Is that like from this same page, or is that I saw? Oh, okay. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I need to do this. There we go. Okay, so now the only thing was with the flats though. Since I resized them, I wonder if they're not like perfect like raster flats anymore. You know what I'm saying? They're probably not because I think when you resize stuff, I know in Photoshop it turns it like anti-aliases it usually because it has to interpret it right. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, no, I can actually see here. Yeah, I can see the flats. I think it'll still be okay, but I need to just yeah, whatever. Actually, what I should do is just fill this background with green and then okay. Ugh. Okay. So we've been watching these horror movies. My friend Ted does he's been doing it for like 7 or 8 years now. He does like 30 days of horror movies where he watches like horror movies, every day for the whole month of October, and then he kind of rates them. And yeah, so I'll watch any ones he talks about that sound cool. I'll check out. So um, we're watching some of those. Yeah. We watched one called Ganjam. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's a Korean like haunted asylum movie. So it's like, but it's kind of got a cool setup. So it's like these ghost hunters, like I think it's been done before, but like it's like these guys who are like YouTube ghost hunters, and they go to this asylum that's supposed to be super haunted or whatever, and then they go in and the one part that's kind of weird is like before they go in for like all of them go in to check it out, they actually like the night before or the day before they go in and set up cameras like in all the rooms. So that's kind of the weird parts. Yeah, exactly. So and then there's the one guy who's like the leader who he stays back at like their base camp and just has his computers to that's yeah, exactly, to monitor. And then but it's kind of weird that they basically have already gone in and put like cameras in everywhere, and you're like, well, if you're able to go in and put in cameras and like no ghosts like killed you, like wouldn't that be a but it's cool. Yeah, they go in and they investigate, and of course things go wrong and get crazy. So um Yeah, but yeah, that was pretty good. Did you see Train to Busan? Oh, you gotta watch that. It's a zombie. It's another the Koreans, man. They're just like kicking ass with the horror and the zombie stuff right now. But yeah, that's on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix, but that's really good. It's like basically like it's your zombie apocalypse, but basically most of it takes place, yeah, where like all these people are getting on a train and meet they're like hearing about what's happening everywhere else, and then they're like trying to go to a station, but the station's like, no, we're not letting people in, and and they don't know what's going to happen, and but it's really well done. It's got it's got some humor in it, and just a really engaging. And I think there's actually an animated prequel or something to it that I want to watch. Yeah, they did one. They made one. Yeah, check that one out for sure. Did you see? Do you watch scary movies? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Movie or oh okay. So it's an anime. Oh okay. Yeah. Yeah. We're yeah. 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 Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. We're playing. If I told you, we're playing this Call of Duty mode. They were like obsessed with. Yeah. It's like we're like it's really fun, dude. It's like the most fun. Um, like playing with friends. It's like the best because actually the other day I was playing and we had 4 players, which is the max you can have on a team. And my one friend was like waiting for someone to get off because we had a full squad, so we're like he had to wait like an hour until one guy got off because I was like because we all wanted to play, but yeah, it's really fun. It just is really like the format is just really perfect because you just drop in. It's the whole uh, what is it? Every game does it now. The battle royale. It's like just like so like the map is shrinking. Like in this mode, it's like in this case, it's like a gas. So like every whatever so often, like this gas goes into the outside area, so you have to get to the safe zone. But then the fun part is like you come in and you start. Every team of 4 has a truck, and you have like this big armored truck that has like a gun on it and stuff. And as long as if the truck is alive, if it's still like operable or whatever, um, you can, if you die, you respawn and you come back to the truck. You fly in the truck. So, but basically, like, so if people are battling, like, you're trying to blow up the other people's truck because if you blow up their truck, they can't come back to life. Um, but if your truck blows up and you're still alive, you can get money, and like money's a big thing because you can upgrade the truck with a better gun and more armor and stuff, or you can repair it. Um, or you can buy a new truck if yours blows up. You can go and buy a new one. So it's just like you're running around and you're attacking other trucks, but you're also trying not to get your truck blown up. And yeah, it's just a really fun. It's just like nail biting because you're like, oh no, here they come, and like sometimes the games are like 5 minutes because you get taken out really fast, or else sometimes you last a long time and you're playing for like half hour, 40 minutes or something. Like just running from the gas, and it's just really I don't know. It's and everybody's like it's really teamwork. That's the biggest thing. Is like the other modes, you're kind of like, oh, we'll go do our own thing. You can just be off running around, and you don't really have to do anything together. But this mode, you're like, no, we have to do this. We have to get together, and we have to go from A to B. And so, but there's this new Outriders game. Have you heard of that? Have you seen any of the gameplay of that? Mm-hmm. It's a Square Enix game, or they're just the publishers, I guess. But the developer. It looks pretty cool. It looks like Destiny, but yeah, but it's third person, which is I prefer. And then you have like different classes, so your people have different like abilities and stuff. And then um, uh, what else? You can, yeah, you have like, yeah, like basically like almost like magic you can use and stuff. So it's pretty, it just looks pretty fun. So looks like, yeah, looks that I wanted that to be. I was like, I don't even know if I want to play the new Call of Duty that's coming out in like a month, but that game just got pushed. It's supposed to be November, now it's like February. So no, the new the Outriders game, yeah. So the new Call of Duty is like coming out in like a month, but frankly, like all I want to do is play this one mode that is already out. So I'm like, I don't, unless the new Call of Duty has that, I don't want to play it. Yeah, I think they have zombies in it again, which I remember in past games was fun. So, all right, let's see. Does that work better? Yeah. Okay. I think I did it. I think it's good now. There we go. She does not have blonde hair. But, mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah. How do you decide? Like, do you fill with the shadow and just erase out the shadow, or do you start with the base and add color, or which way? Okay. Oh, wait, say it one more time. You do what? Say it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I think making. Yeah, I actually been looking at like. Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense. I was looking at some like European artists, and one thing they seem to do sometimes it's like they just do a fill. They're actually more instead of shadows, like doing cell shading, where you're adding the shadows. It's almost like they do flats, and then they just add highlights, like a little bit of highlights here and there, and that's a really interesting look. Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, there's no right or wrong, but yeah, I think Mobius actually used to do that. I think that was kind of his technique because I think if you look at some of his art, yeah, you'll see it's like kind of a flat, and then it'll just be like he'll draw like a highlight, kind of like on the nose or on the arm, just like where the light would hit. So it's a yeah, just a definitely different look. But oh no, this door doesn't look right. Crap. Okay, I gotta fix that still. Sure, that's fine. Yeah, my colorist here, you got a little lazy these last couple of pages, or my flatter, I should say. I like I just miss. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, I could tell him to go and fix it, but in the time it's going to take me to tell him to do that and like type the email, it's like it's not even worth it for me to go in and do whatever. It's going to be like a couple minutes of work, so I'm not really worried about it this time, but it is kind of annoying. But yeah, like he just didn't do the lips on this monster, and then the background layers, he like it's the same background, like they're in the same room, but he literally made the background color the same for everywhere. And I was like, but yeah, I can't. They're not pick. I can't choose them as different panels. And I gotta like, so I had to go in manually and slightly change the hue of each one so I could select them separately to render them as separate panels. So those things. If I was working on like a really long term project with them, I would say something, but it's just not worth it right now. So we literally have one more page to go, or I don't know if I'll even have them flat the cover, maybe, but Might do that myself, but he's good. He's fast. That's something I could really like. I sent him both these on Friday and had him back maybe Saturday or Sunday. Like he just bangs them out really fast. So yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a big deal. Uh, yeah. Don't go too dark. I mean, just because you are printing eventually. I mean, I yeah. A lot of people, it's like the darks can't. Yeah, yeah. The one thing I can't believe I this background says. So I say the some guy online he was talking about like for print, especially I think when they do offset printing, he was like, yeah, if you have too dark, the like on the black plate, it will actually like the ink will almost like slide off the yeah, like as it'll just be too saturated, you know. So he's like, yeah, you got to like make sure not to go too dark, because it does all the other colors and then does the black on top or whatever. I don't know. So this handle should not be there. Yeah, I know. I know exactly. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, you just want to contrast because you can, and it's like the trick that movies do. Like, yeah, don't use black for nighttime scenes. Don't make it like really dark. Make it blue. Yeah, make it blue or purple, like a cooler color, and then that way. Um, I have a suggestion for you, but I want you to do what you're going to do first, and then after that. Well, let's see. So when you're done, like I like how it looks now. What I was thinking is just for another little added pop. I don't know what the background, how much detail you have in the background, but so you have your main light source, right? Like whatever is on the right side of Merlin and the other guys. So keep doing that for everybody wherever you like, and then and maybe just Merlin, or I know you could probably do a little bit on the dragon and stuff too, but like a backlight that's like a blue, like a bluish. I don't know. I think because you're doing like kind of a yellow or kind of a. It kind of looks like a yellowish. Am I wrong? Like whatever color you're doing to do the highlight, or are you just erasing to the flat? Really? But it's set to what's it set to? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, color. Yeah, okay. Um, but yeah. So with the purple and the pink, I think blue would still look good. It would look harmonious with everything. So just a light, kind of blue, like not nearly as bright, maybe half as bright as the your main highlight, but then I don't know, it's something to try. Might be. Yeah, yeah, just like on his back, like hitting him like from the left side, like it's coming from the left side because your main light's coming from the right. So just some I'm as I'm looking at my brain is thinking. So I'm not, yeah, I'm not really doing a lot in this comic either, which is usually something I do a lot of. But this comic, I'm trying. I'm sure it seems like I'm doing a lot, but I'm trying to keep it a little simpler and just doing like I have one shadow layer, and then I started doing what I think you just did. How you made it? Didn't you say you made it even darker and it looked better? Yeah. So what I realized is I copied a layer or something. I was uh, like used a darker shadow layer, and it really makes it pop. Like I try not. I use it at the very end. Like I kind of just do the overall. Um, what color? Eye colors you have? The overall, just your regular cell shading all the characters. But in the end, I'll do this darker thing that allows me to do like a dark gradient. Like it does like a really dramatic effect. Like they're almost being like under a shadow or something. Like something's casting a shadow on them. Let me see if I could show you. Let's show you what I'm talking about here. Yeah, I did it on one page, and I was like, oh, that makes it really pop because yeah, I'm not doing a lot of spot blacks. Like I'm doing spot blacks like on certain like the kid's hair because he's dreads, and then the main kid or the other kid, he's got um, this hat. He has a couple things on his costume that are black, but I'm not doing like a lot of black shadows. So doing something like this, I think, really makes it pop. You see my screen here? Well, you just yeah. Let's see if you see the. It's the finished page with the monster going at the kids. Yeah, yeah. So this one, so this is what it looks like finished, but this is the layer I was talking about. So I'll turn it off. Do you see it now? Mm-hmm. Really? Hang on. I'll turn it on and off. Hang on. Mm-hmm. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. It's mostly noticeable in the first panel. No, the second one too. The third one's a little more subtle, but I'm doing it. Oh yeah, me too. Good idea. Yeah. So I wonder maybe, but it looks good. So I mean, I don't know if he's going to print this. Hopefully not. But it like since it is just in one little part, it's most of it's pretty bright. I hope that would be okay. It's not like everywhere. Yeah, I could probably turn it down and see. Yeah, if it's. I should do a print test and see what it looks like. But I just like how the effect looks right now for at least for the digital version. So, but yes, yeah. Do you think the top one it just looks? Yeah, 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 yeah. Nice. Yeah, it was a fun one. Yeah, my cat is wanting attention right now. Hey, cat. Do what? Oh, right. Yeah, I don't. I mean, we'll see if he has another idea, but I don't know if he has anything else. I do want after this project's done, I want to start hunting for a second gig because I want to keep doing the other one, but hopefully something that pays because this one pays better than a little better than Empty Grave. But exactly. Well, that's yeah, that's the main gig. Yeah, the storyboards is the main thing I need to go after. So, um, but I think I really need to open that again. Yeah, the storyboard. Yeah, that's something I really need to go after because that's the actual real money. So I need to try to follow up with everybody, and I'm still waiting for the payment for my last gig, which sucks. It's been like almost a month now, so I need to. Yeah, yeah, right, crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. I need to. I know. I think it's what's hard is I get burnt out. Like I do it, and it's so hard when I do the projects because they're so like that last one. I don't know. I think I need to work more on like communicating like how long things are going to take and everything else because it's just hard when I kill myself for these projects. Like for like 3 days, I'm so burnt out after. I don't even think I'm like, man, I don't even really want to do that again for a while, because it's just like doing 30 hours in 2 days or whatever. It's like, ugh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the other thing is I'm not. I'm still working on my negotiating and just understanding because I think it's just having to go through it and realize, oh no, it can be super long. It can, they might say, oh, it's just this thing, but they might not be communicating exactly how much work is needed, you know, or how much they want to do. So, yeah, that's something I need to work on. So, but it's good to, it's good to learn and yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, yeah, I'm getting paid and that's good. But yeah, I just need to like make sure it's fair. I'm getting paid enough and not like robbing myself. Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I always think about. Yeah. 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 I mean, I would really like to do. I'd really like to teach eventually. That would be something I'd really be into. So, yeah. Yeah. No, I agree and I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. I need to just keep going and yeah, yeah. I need to keep going. I think it's just right now. I'm like, just let me finish this project. Let me clear a little bit of room before I try to because that's why this project's already taken me like 5 months. Because I did like several storyboard gigs in the meantime. And like didn't have us doing this, and I think this is the kind of stuff I need to do to like keep me to up my productivity. Yeah, is to yeah kind of trick my whatever I have to do to get my butt in the chair for longer. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Penny. Ugh, my co-star. Yeah. She loves to. Oh, she's yeah. So funny. She sleeps like 20 hours a day. She sleeps so much. Like when we get home, she like pretty much just sleeps the whole night. She'll come and hang out with us a little bit, but then like, and she sleeps all through the night, which is nice because my other cat does not. But she'll just like keep sleeping. And then whenever I want to work, she's like, just, oh man, she hates it. She's like, no. She'll lay, like, literally, I had a picture yesterday I took of me trying to draw on my drawing board, and she just literally laid on between my body and the drawing board and just like laid there. And I was like, oh, you're so cute, but she like won't. Can you, Pam, can you go somewhere, please? Yeah, right on the keyboard. Yep, she's what she's doing. I always have to have another tab open, so when she's coming, I click over to like a just a junk new tab so she can type her random letters in there. But it's funny they'll like do something like sometimes they made my screen like black and white, which is a thing I didn't know you could do. Um, there's like a function key that does that, or like, or they'll hit a combination like alt something, and it'll like, turn on. I know they'll just like accidentally do some sort of keystroke that like makes something really annoying or messes something up. So okay. Yeah. Wait, what? So what's going on in the background for this page you're working on? Like, do you have hmm. Wait, okay. Yeah, let me see this. Delay. Oh, you're really delayed on my end. Okay. So I went back. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's okay. Good. Yeah. Uh huh. Right. How did you know those? Did you draw all this digital? Even the background? How did you know? Did you lightbox the? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Wait. So tell me how you did that again. Did you have like your lines that you drawn on a piece of paper and you lightboxed the background over top of the character so you could tell? Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Now, is there a reason you're not just drawing it all like together, like on like drawing your background? Just... Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. I mean, yeah, it's however you want to work. I just because now I think, and I've had to deal with the same thing. Now you have the issue where some of your background is actually in front of your characters. You know what I'm saying? Like the table is actually in front of Merlin. So I guess that's the only part I could see. Like everybody else, the characters are all on top of the background. Because although he's kind of blocked by what's the main guy's name? The kid. Actually, yeah, I think you're fine. Yeah, I think you're good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. This is good. Color. Yes, the eye color. Oh, why is the monsters? Oh, this isn't right. Oh, okay. That's it. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. Because a motion comic, I would say, unless you. Okay. Oh, gotcha. I mean, I would say like if you're gonna do something like that, like unless you're gonna take a class. I mean, I guess you could do Skillshare. Skillshare, they have stuff I think in that. So, um, I would actually when I got my friend from school to on this one gig, the one I did for my old boss, and they're like, yeah, if you can learn to do animatics yourself, that'd be huge. But I mean, dude, that's a whole nother skill set. That's a lot of work. So I'd like to be able to do it. It'd be fun, but like the level my friend was doing it looks so good. Like it had that like lively like kind of bounce to it and stuff. Like it's hard to describe, but you know what I'm saying. Like when things move, they don't just like stop and not really like robotic. It looks yeah yeah. It's like really things swing and stuff is yeah. So but yeah but yeah, unless you can have a friend or know somebody that can do it, I would like. Oh, geez, that's gonna be so much work. And but yeah, for a trailer, I think you're yeah for a trailer probably will be the hard because I think all you're doing is separating. You're just moving things a little bit, so you're just dragging. It's kind of like a Ken Burns effect, where like you as you're panning across the scene, yeah, then you're kind of just basically have your foreground getting bigger maybe and moving left, and then your background stays still or moves a little bit to the right. So yeah, just a tiny bit will go a long way. I think it's probably the best idea if you're doing something like that. Yeah. Oops, that is not the right thing to. Okay. Cool. Nice. Oh, I forgot his little webbing thing. Dude, do you struggle with like costume details? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Oh, true. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. But I mean, like, so I like that's my problem with this is probably because the well, a couple things because the monster costume and then also the the kids they just have like it's not super specific, but they have uh, little details, and every time I'm drawing them, I forget like this panel I'm looking at right now, what the delay is, but um, yeah, like I was like, oh, I forgot to draw this, or I forgot, oh, that doesn't work like that, or yeah, 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 yeah. Actually, that's what I need to do with this. Is I feel like I've been working on it for so long. I'm like, how, like, which do am I like, especially the first page. I think that's the one where I'm like, I need to go back and like make sure it's all consistent. But this, he has like webbing in between his fingers, like the monster. So here his hand is kind of close, but yeah, between the first and the finger and the thumb, I didn't draw. Oh, actually, on both hands, I forgot it. But I always forget because I'm just worried about drawing the hand, and I don't think about it. But now I'm like, oh yeah, I need to actually draw the webbing in there because that's something. Oh, nice. How is it? How is it? Cool. So does it is it supposed to be like Earth? Are they on Earth or is it a different planet or something? Oh, okay. No, very, very. I've seen drawings, or I've seen. I think I watched the net. Is a Netflix one, right? It's like kind of got the 3D models and stuff. I think I watched a little bit of it. Right? I don't know. The 3D models kind of turned me off, so I didn't really watch much. But they're like going through this whole. It's like an enclosed kind of space, right? And they're trying to survive. And oh yeah, you were saying that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He said, "I'm getting my haircut today for the first time since January." So yeah, I'm gonna. I have to. Well, it's at 1 o'clock, so I got time. I just need to. I took my cat in, Penny. I took her in today. She got her teeth cleaned. She was very good, except when I was taking her downstairs, the carrier we have, you can open it on both ends with the like zipper close thing. And the one I closed, the one I put her in, I closed it up, but then the other side hadn't been totally closed. And I'm taking her down the stairs, and all of a sudden this little head pops out of the other end of it. She just like found it. I was like, get back in there. But yeah, it was really fast, but yeah, it's like $140. But apparently, like I want to keep up on hers because uh, Bowie has one tooth left. I mean, he's 17, but I've had to pay a couple $1,000 over his lifetime to get his teeth pulled. So, and that's yeah, and then that can like lead to infections and stuff. And actually, they said he still has like problems in his mouth right now, which I'm like, oh, like he has one tooth. How can he have mouth problems? It's all gums. Oh, I forgot the details here too. Jeez. Let's see. Yeah, that's great. It's a cool idea. No, that's not it. Figuring. Here we Have you ever been to Maine? No. We keep just hypothetical because we visited. We went to Portland, Maine, and Kennebunkport and different places a couple of years ago for a trip. But because we keep talking about how we can't afford any, to buy a house here, so we were always like, man, we'd love to have like a summer house there or something. Um, but we keep talking about it because my one friend, is trying to buy a house up in Northern California right now and really struggling because there's just like not many houses and plus fires and stuff too. So you're kind of like, do you even want to live, up there or whatever? So, but yeah, we keep talking about like, yeah, if we had to move, maybe we'd move up there, and I don't know, but it's depressing. I want to stay here. I don't. I spent not my whole youth, like I'm not like a army brat or whatever, but like we moved around a lot when I was a kid, and I'm happy how it all worked out, but as an adult, I'm kind of like I moved around a lot as an adult too, like not a lot, but I moved actually. Like in Chicago, I lived in like 6 different places or something. Like for the 8 years, I was moving like every other year at least. So I'm kind of like, man, I just don't. I like it here. I don't want to go anywhere. Well, no, but her family, her mom, her parents, they own a house in El Salvador, and they want to move back there. That's their. So yeah, I don't know when her mom, because her mom's still working. Her dad isn't, but her mom is still working right now. So, but eventually, that's like the goal is to go back to El Salvador. So, but her brother lives in Arizona, so it's like still kind of close, Like we're actually gonna go do a little. I think we're gonna go to like Zion with them like next month. So, um, I still think these eyes could be bigger. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. My parents, live in South Carolina now, so I'm like, ugh, I don't know. It'd be nice to be near family. I wish my parents like moved out here. But what are you gonna do for what they got there versus what they would get here? It's ridiculous. Yeah, they have like a 5 bedroom house there, and here they'd probably get like a 1 bed, a 1 bed condo or a 2 bed condo maybe. I don't know. We just talk about it, like we don't. But well, the thing that she brought up, which is crazy, is like in our whatever the how many years she's lived here, 3 now, I think, that she's paid like you know 60 or 70 thousand dollars in rent, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's so much that could go toward actually owning a house. Like that's a quarter of a house or something, or whatever. Maybe not, but out here, but a lot. So if you're paying that toward, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It just, I mean, I think there's a lot of factors for why there's not enough housing in California, right? It's like I think people don't want them to build a lot. What they really need to do is build a lot of like high rises, right? Like a lot of like condo, more condo units, but everybody wants that still small town feel, so they don't want a big condo building it next to their house. So there we go. Because yeah, and I think I was reading something about like the regulations for building are like really crazy out here too. It's like really hard to like for the like it's really expensive and stuff to get the permit, get everything all to go through all the permits and paperwork and everything you need to do the to be able to build. And so the only people that can do it are people that are rich or are building luxury houses that are millions of dollars because it's just not worth it to do all that for a $300,000 house or whatever else it would be. Yeah, I don't know. you got a bunch of people. Yeah, it's just. Oh right, yeah, yeah. Oh, you know it's funny. Well, not fun. It's kind of funny. I was talking to on Sip and Sketch last week, and we were talking about the same thing, like housing price and all this different stuff. And one of the guys I was talking, I was like, "Yeah, my parents own a house in South Carolina," and I was talking to my parents the other day. And my mom, was like, "This is the house you're going to inherit," because they don't want to move again, and I'm an only child, so they're like, and I said that I was like, "Well, I'm going to inherit this house, but it's in South Carolina, and I don't want to live in South Carolina, right?" Like and I didn't really mean it to say, I was just it's literally the conversation I had with my mom, and this one guy who was in the hanging out in the Sip Sketch, but he's like, "Oh my God, like so many people wish that they could be in that situation, to be able to own a house and stuff like that." And like, he's like, "I'll only be able to have whatever I can earn. No one's ever going to give me something like that." And he was like kind of upset that I like was, talking about inheriting this. And it kind of took me back. And I told him, I was like, I didn't mean to come across like as entitled or anything. I guess I am lucky that my parents were able to, own this house. But I was like, it's kind of just a fact that I'm an only child, and when my parents pass on, I would inherit whatever they have because that's how inheritance works. Like I don't. It's just kind of a fact to me. Like I wasn't trying to be like, check me out. I mean, I guess it did sound entitled. I'm like, oh, I don't want this free house, but I was more like saying, I want, I want to live where I want to live. Not have to like just. Yeah, no, I know exactly. Yeah, so it's probably yeah, that's true. So, I mean, actually, that's what some like my other friend was talking about. He's like, yeah, ever think about like buying a cabin or some sort of like vacation home or something, and then renting that out, and then go visit when you want in another state, and then that way, or at least you have some sort of property and building value. But I'm like, to do that and have pay your rent too. That's a lot. So, but yeah, I don't know. Well, no, who knows? I mean, if Trump gets reelected, I think there'll definitely be a big crash, or who knows? Even if he doesn't, there might be a big crash because I think this whole thing is just going to catch up with the start. I think it's going to be a domino effect pretty soon. I mean, there's this article in the LA Times the other day. It was about like all the businesses that are struggling, all these old bookstores that have been there forever, and that are going out of business, and all these restaurants that are like old mainstays that are around forever are going out of business. So you have so many people. It's a domino effect because then like think of all the people that own those buildings that aren't getting rent then too. So then it's just be empty storefronts everywhere, and just a whole bunch of people unemployed and nobody making money, for the most part, except Jeff Bezos, except Amazon Prime, Amazon everything. Yeah, I think I was trying to like my monitor. I bought it at Best Buy because I was like, I like that. I mean, there's a Amazon store not too far, but like that. Yeah, well, there's one. There was one in the Century City. What's that thing called? The mall. They have the fancy mall. So they have one there. I don't know if it's still open. I think it's shut down for a while, but dude. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that the store's still there. At least last time I was there. But yeah, it's nice because dude, like for real, the Amazon returns though, it's incredible. That's the thing that Amazon's like, you can't even argue with it because you're like, oh my god, it's like you go there, it's like the easiest thing ever to like return something there. Like you literally, if you do like your Amazon return, then you just walk into the store and you just like hand them the thing, and then you have the paper or just the phone, whatever, the link on your phone, QR code or something, and then they scan that, and you're like, that's it, see you later. Like you don't have to do anything. It takes like 2 seconds, and by the time you've left the store, you have an email with like your confirmation, like, oh, we got your return. It's so easy. Like you can just have it like barely hanging in the box, and just like there you go. So, but yeah, like movies and stuff, like we have Vudu, which Brenda watches like some like Real Housewives and stuff like that on there. So, but they have movies to rent, and I'm like, well, how about I like rent, movies on there? If it's the same price as Amazon, let me spread it out, so it's not just one company getting all my money. So, yeah. Actually, what does it? Actually, what I should do is, what I'm gonna do is. Yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing too. Is like, well, but it's hard because I think I was watching people talk about something where they're like, oh yeah, like I wanted to buy a product directly from the company, but then you buy it from them, and then if there's an issue with it, like they'll like fight you and be like, oh, you want a refund? Well, oh, you got to do this and that, or maybe you messed it up, and it's like it's a whole pain in the ass. Whereas if you bought it from Amazon, you go return and they just take it. Like there's no questions asked. So why is there an incentive to buy it directly from the company, right? Like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a good point too, though. But it's also like then you have to do your research. Like, okay, which company? How is this company with returns? Is it going to be a pain in the butt to do it, or? But Best Buy. I mean, I bought for the monitor. I bought a protection plan. It's like a 3-year, 4-year, because monitors. I don't know, I always hear about problems. Like actually, researching monitors on Amazon, there's like it'll be like 4, almost 5 stars, but then of course in the top reviews, you'll have someone in there. It's like a horrible something crazy's going on with the screen, and you're like, oh wow, like that's horrible. And you're like, never buy this thing. And you're like, but everybody else said it was like fine, like. So it's funny, like so. That's why I was like, all right, I'll buy the protection because in case there's something wrong, I want to be able to just take this thing back right away and get my, have it replaced or get my money back or whatever. So I paid. Yeah, and I went on Reddit because Reddit's always my go-to for questions like that. So I went on and someone was like, as like a Best Buy, what do you call it, worker was on there. Employee, and they're talking about it like, oh yeah, for that stuff it's like totally worth like electronics because like you just apparently you bring it in and they don't like ask any questions or anything. It's just like, oh, here you go, like So for me, I'm like, yeah, that's totally worth it. Oh yeah. Oh, is it really big? Yeah. Well, I was looking at like someone talking about the to change out the or to add like a new hard drive to it. It's like a whole thing. Whereas like with the Xbox, you literally just like plug it into there's like a slot that just goes right there, where you can just put in the new hard drive. Whereas I think the place, I think you have to open it up, like opening it, which is crazy, but. Yeah, especially right now, I have another hard drive just because Call of Duty is so ridiculously huge. I have another hard drive, which I just plugged into one of the USB slots in the front. And I don't. Yeah, like it won't even fit on a 250 gig drive now. Like I have a 500 gig drive, and I had to delete almost every other game except that just to fit it on there. It's pretty. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. So, but I bought another drive, and that works really well. But I need to get a new one for my backup drive because on it doesn't work. It's I think it's like breaking. I think it's like dying. Like it kind of works, but I'm trying to back it up on. Why is this not working? I'm trying to back up my stuff, and it just like will not. It takes forever, and it's like making like clicky sounds and stuff like that. So yeah, so I think it's on its way out. So I need to just get a new one. They're pretty cheap, but it's still like I need to have them. Well, I think I was good. 4 gigs was maybe 3 or 4 gigs, like 100, 150 maybe, something like that. Oh no, I'm just talking about for my computer. But no, in the PlayStation specific ones, PlayStation you don't need anything specific. It's just a regular hard drive. You just plug it in. I think it'll take almost any hard drive. It might be like a certain format or something, but like I don't know if it's like Windows or probably Windows formatted maybe. I don't know, but it's nothing really special. But yeah, so yeah, I like to have my physical backup too on my computer, but I have the thing I told you about, which you need to get or something like it. The Backblaze, dude, it's so worth it, man. $50 a year, and you know that like your stuff's protected like all the time. Like that's yeah, literally it could steal your computer, the house could burn down, whatever. It's still gonna be okay. So as long as that thing's working, yeah, that's why I'm not like too worried about it. I'm like whatever, I'll just get it, whatever, backed up through them if I need to. But it is nice to have a physical drive to just in case. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, that is the goal. Oh yeah, I'll do some with the floor. I'll do some reference for that. Yeah, they're doing some road work right down the street from my house. So yeah, it's been really loud last couple days. So it's a little annoying, but whatever. Oh. You still there? Oh, you're just chewing. That's good. That's all good. Yeah, no, I think I'm trying to go back into what do you call it soon? Pulp Fiction. Try to trade in some more comics. Yeah, I traded in all my trades for which I think I found like 2 more, but I have a whole bunch of single issues that I need to trade in. Well, they said what they're doing is taking everything. So they're taking everything. They just don't want. Before they were like, they just don't want people walking in because they're gonna have too many people and they want to make sure with money flow and whatnot. Like they don't want to be like trying to give out too much money at once when they don't. You got to make sure that they're all liquid enough to buy it. But they said they're pretty much buying everything. They just want to go through and not overwhelm themselves. So, yeah. Yeah. I got so much stuff. I don't know. I have such a weird. Maybe I think about it too much, but I'm like, I buy all these comics and I just get rid of them, and then like, I don't reread comics, but then I have like a whole box of comics I keep just for like kind of reference almost, like just stuff I really like the art in or whatever. So, you know, but it's like I barely look at those either. Like, so I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I think about it too much, but as long as I don't have a lot. Like I really every time I like moved or just now because I just got this new bookshelf, I still have way too much stuff, so I went through and got rid of a lot of it, so I wouldn't have like so I actually have enough room for everything. Um, But yeah, there's just so many things I need to reread, or like I think I saw about Invincible. Like I didn't finish it, so I need to like I should probably just go on Wikipedia and like read the plot of each each book or whatever, and then catch up to where I am. Yeah, that way I don't have to reread or maybe reread the last one. To kind of I remember the general stuff, but I can't remember like the whole overarching plot of like the interdimensional. I don't know if even remember that. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, that book, man, I love that book. Like, that book is just so much fun. Like, Remender, I mean, or not Remender, Kirkman, he's done, I don't know, who cares? Like, no artist has to be perfect, but I just really have enjoyed that one a lot. Do you like Remender? Rick Remender? Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, see, yeah. Yeah. What's his name? It's like I like his art a lot. Greg Tocchini, right? Is that his name? I like his art a lot, but it's also like it's hard for me to follow it. Like it's hard. It's like hard for me to like understand like what's happening sometimes because it's a lot. Like, he's very good. He can draw anything. Like he is a very good artist, but he's kind of like gestural. Like sometimes he's just like, oh, here's an idea of something, and then his colors are very the same thing where you're just like, wait, what is that exactly? I guess I'm really big on clarity in comics. Like, it's hard for me to like tell what stuff is sometimes. Um, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm reading Deadly Class. I've been reading that for a long time. I do like it, but I think it might just be like the fact that I'm like I don't know. When you read something for so long, for me at some point I'm like, dude, can it just be over? Like like I don't know if a book needs to go on for like 6 years. I'm like, oh, okay, can it just like what were you trying to say with this story? Like what's the big point? Let's get in there and let's because I feel like that's I don't know I don't know like yeah. Well, I think it's kind of like tell me what you wanted to tell me. Like when it's something like Invincible, you're like, oh, okay, that's a big ensemble cast, and you can, and it's almost like a superhero comic with just different arcs and stuff. And meanwhile, Mark, right, that's the guy's name. Like his life keeps changing with like, does he has a kid with what's her name and stuff like that, and okay, that's cool. Like it's like an overarching life of a superhero mixed with the individual storylines that happen. So okay, cool. But like certain other books, you're like, okay, so it's just about this one character go through this one thing over and over and over again, and there's like different characters that come and go, but it's still like I don't know. It's kind of like what is your? It's kind of like some comics I feel like are just basically like movies, and it's like, well, is it a movie or is it a TV series? And even if it's a TV series, like how many seasons are you doing here? Like so. But yeah, I'm still reading Deadly Class. I like it, but it is getting to the point now where I'm like, all right, like what, like, what's gonna happen here? What's the, Oh yeah. No, I didn't. I wanted to. I think I heard people say it was good, but then it got canceled anyway. But sucks. But yeah, I did you see it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah, but his other stuff I've read. Yeah, I never read the X Force. I should read that because I remember getting an issue of it or something. I loved. What's his name's art on that? King X Force. Yeah. What's the artist's name on that? He's so good. He's doing the other Remember. Oh, Painting. Yeah. He's crazy. But he's and then now he does. I think he's doing pencils on that, and then, but now he's doing that book Seven to Eternity with Remender, which is he's actually inks himself now, which is interesting. And he does I think he does a bunch of microns, like it's a lot of tiny little details. I don't know how he does it, but it looks really consistent. But yeah, I think that book that needs to end too, because that one they had some fill-in people, maybe just one or two. I think actually James Heron did a fill-in for it. But that one's taking so long to finish. And after a while, with those books, those indie books that never come out, you're like, all right, man, just finish the book. Yeah, unless you're Saga and you did 50 issues, you're like, okay, you earned a break for a long time. It's already been a very satisfying story, and you earned a break. But even now, it's like, all right, guys, you got to bring that back because we all forgot what the hell is happening. But these other ones where it's like, oh, we did 10 issues, now we're taking a break for 2 years. You're like, what? Or a year? You're like, all right. Well, I don't know if it's a plan thing. It could be a money thing. I'm sure maybe they weren't making as much. Maybe Opania wasn't making as much money. Drawing it versus you can get whatever 300-400 a page for a Marvel book or something plus whatever the original is. So that could be an issue I could see, but. I don't know. He's huge. I mean, I would hope so, man. But it's like, I thought the upper tier of talent gets 300 to 500 a page. For yeah. Well, he does inks too. Yeah. You think the top guys are working for $100-200 a page? That's crazy. That sounds really low. I think the standard fee for Marvel is over $100, which is still not very much. But I could be wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think it's finally ready to color. Yeah, the good thing with this is doing the cell shading like I do. It's really easy to do on the iPad, while I'm just watching TV or doing sip and sketch, so I can talk and do it at the same time. I can do it now too. One thing I like to do is copy my render layer from the other file, which is cool, and then I actually like to see the random patterns it's making on the new page because it's obviously doesn't match up at all, but I think that's actually how I came up with that darker shadow thing, because I think I turned it on. I went on to a different page. I was using it for something else, and I put it on one thing. I was like, oh, that looks really cool if I use that for effect in a couple places. So. Oh, the floor. That's what I want to do. Let me do some referencing. Let's be a good artist here, for all the millions of fans watching. That's always good. Okay. Yeah. Do you know? Well, there's a really cool one point perspective trick with what do you call it? Checkered floors. Like if you're doing an even kind of checkered floor. I have to remember it. I think I could figure it out by just drawing it. So your point. Let me look here. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so basically, so you have your 1 point perspective, and you draw your floor plane going to the perspective point, right? Then to make them even, you should measure along that top line of your floor and measure it. Well, every inch you just put a little tick mark, and then draw through that, and that will be your lines going, down, through the whole floor. So to find where the check mark, each subsequent box goes or starts, the next line starts with your horizontals, is to, all you do is draw a diagonal through one corner of the box on either edge, the left or the right side. Just draw a diagonal from the top right to the bottom left, and then just keep that line going. And then wherever that line hits the lines you already put in, that's where your horizontals go. And that's like a perfect, I don't know if this makes sense. Well, why am I just drawing the damn thing here? Okay. We're on a thing. Let me show you. Sure. Okay. So I'm going to do it old school. I'm not even going to use the perspective grids because we don't need that. So you draw one thing. Okay, then you got your line, right? So this is your floor plane. And then we're going to draw it to the perspective point there. Okay. And now we're going to pretend these are even, but whatever. Okay. So you see where I am now, where I have all the points? Yeah. So now you're like, okay, where do I put my check mark? So then the first thing is just draw one, like whatever you want your back one to be. So let's say it's there. Okay, cool. So now you're using this as a guide. So I'm going to do top right to the bottom left. Okay. So just draw from the corner of these. So just draw all the way across. Now see where it hits this line here. You're pretty much, so it's basically here. Whenever it's hitting these lines here, that's where the subdivisions go for your. Yeah. So it goes there, there, and that's like in perspective. Yeah. So that's how you know. It also goes with the same. It's the same idea of like if you have a window or something you want to repeat in perspective. Like if you have like say this is a wall, right? And we'll say this is the wall, and say you have like this is a subdivision in the wall, and you're like, okay, I want to make another vertical, but I want it to be correct, or I want it to keep going, like keep subdividing. All you have to do is draw. Well, we have to find the middle point, so you have to say, here's the middle point. You can measure it, literally measure. This is the halfway point in this thing. So you measure halfway, draw it all the way through. Then going from the corner of the first box through the center point. Oh shit, this looks really weird. But it's probably just the perspective's really, what do you call it? Really dramatic. But in perspective, this is like an equal subdivision. This is your next thing, like if these are equal. And then you might say, oh, that's too big. I don't want that to be that big, right? All you have to do is, to subdivide in perspective, is then, since you already have your box here, you want to subdivide this in half. All you have to do is make an X. You go from the corner to here, and this is your center. Wherever they cross, that's your center. And then you can even, and then since you subdivided it, you can then do the same thing. You already have our center line is here because it's always the same. If you go from this point through the center, wherever it hits there, then you drop your vertical, and then that's your subdivision. So now you went from 2 subdivisions to 4, right? You went from 2 boxes to now you have you got 1, 2, 3, 4, all in perspective. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. I mean, any perspective book will tell you this, but it really helps to like have someone show you it. But the extract is super really convenient. And what you can do too is like if you're drawing windows, right, and you want all even space, like you can use this trick. But then what you do is like you don't want windows all in a row, right? So you can just delete, erase the one in the middle, and then then you have like 2 windows that are evenly spaced that are perspective correct. So. Well, this one does still look pretty big to me. I don't know why. This looks very... Oh, that's like this. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. There's a lot of there's stuff for like drawing like columns, which is insane. Like you have to have so many. Or one thing I know that's a big thing I never learned. I was like, this is just too complicated. Was projecting shadows. So like if you have a building you've drawn in perspective, you can kind of like basically make up your light source and then using that tracing lines from your perspective onto your building and basically like drawing a correct shadow on the ground based on what that building would cast. It's great. But you're like, okay, sure, but like if the building's a square or whatever, or rectangle, it's probably pretty easy. But what if your building has like crazy shapes coming off of it, like any real building does? I think that could really mess it up. So, yeah, I don't know. It's almost like if you're going to be doing all that, just go into SketchUp and make a rough scene, and I don't know, or just make it up. You know, if you could draw that well in perspective, you could probably just fudge the shadows on the ground. I don't think no one's going to care that much. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I think the other thing to think of is just in case you ever have to, and I just started doing this, I was lazy about it before, but usually you don't need to, but like if you have a staircase, it's just like whatever. Like you have your room and then your staircase like is going up. Usually you just do like parallel lines, but that's not actually correct. Like stairs actually go to another perspective point. So you should actually pick one like up here, usually off your page or whatever. And then that way it does converge because the stairs do not because all parallel lines have to go to a vanishing point or in perspective. So technically if you're drawing, especially if you're drawing more than one point, then anything else should have at least its own perspective point. So it won't just be parallel. A lot of times your eye will read it fine just doing parallel. So, but, it's just something to think about. If it doesn't look right, you gotta be like, oh, especially if you're doing like some crazy shot where you're looking up the stairs, like then like it's kind of the same, like, oh, here's the stairwell. You're gonna have the sides go, to a perspective point up at the top of the stairs, so. Yeah, stairs are a pain in the ass. I still trying to figure out ways to draw. I should look at more tutorials too because I'm always trying to draw them. Like I actually made a file. Where is it? Let me actually pull it up here. Yeah, but it's like instead of it's super simple here. Yeah. So it's this. So this is like my stairs from the side. And then I just distort this into the perspective once I have it. And then that way I know, and then I can like basically draw. This is like one side of it. And then I just project the top and bottom to the perspective, to the, like, let me see, copy. Yeah, like I would do, because in Photoshop, like, do you do the distort ever? It's really useful, like... Oh, okay, cool, yeah, because I'll do, like, something like that. Well, yeah. So then now it's in perspective. So now it's going into a perspective that's like this. Like if I already have my sketch and it's that, then I have my other lines worked out. So then I know, you know, yeah. So that way I can you just match up, and then it can tell me now. Oh yeah, I need to draw the flat part, right? Like I need to draw the whatever we call it, the top of the stair. Like so that way I know. Like I can just drop that wherever. And then however many stairs I have, like if it's a short staircase, I'll just not copy the bottom four or whatever. I'll just copy the top ones. So this might not even be correct because I think stairs are. I think it's actually there's more. They're not equal. I don't think a stair is as high as it is long, but roughly. But I think it's maybe a little longer. Like you have more room for your foot versus the height of going up a stair. It's shorter. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. But when you're drawing it, I think it will read just fine. So yeah. But stuff like that, yeah, I think is huge. Just just drawing in 2D and then distorting it to the perspective is huge. So. See, I actually like how this looks on this page already. Like some of these shadows. So like on this guy down here, I really like how the shadow actually looks on him already. So might try to copy that because I don't usually do that much with the. Where on this guy? Oh, up here. Oh, that the texture on this guy. Oh, what's in the panel? On the guy, the big face. Yeah. Um. Oh, that texture, like this stuff here, which I just got rid of. Yeah. That's it's a brush. It's a this brush I randomly have that just does kind of an even texture. I can find it here, but I've used it basically for his suit since it's a because I didn't draw originally. I was kind of drawing scales, but now you can see it looks kind of scaly, and I can control it so it's like more organic. Like I do a little bit in area. I don't know if it's already drawing it, or I can go really heavy. So it looks a little more organic, I think, to me, than having it like really even all over. Yeah, I think it looks cool just to have it more. So that way I didn't have to like originally I was drawing scales like you would draw like Captain America's outfit or something. But and actually if you even look in the shadows here, it does something in the shadows where like it actually lightens the shadow that I already have the flat shadow in there, and it actually so it kind of gives even more detail. So for his costume, since he's kind of the big monster, and I think it adds a whole other level. Just makes him pop a little more. Yeah, yeah, it's insane. Yeah, it's like so over the top. Like yeah, he's did all this stuff. He got at one point there's like these other mannequins of like the alien from Aliens and a wolf man, and he's got this costume, and the kids even say that they're like, how did you do all like how did you get all this stuff? And he talks about working with a guy who works at like haunted houses or something. But yeah, it's yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's a fun little story. It got I haven't drawn anything like kind of like this. It's like all ages. Usually, most stuff I draw is like got a lot of violence in it or something, and this is just like it's just kids running scared. So yeah, it's I think and just drawing kids. Yeah, I just wasn't. I didn't haven't drawn a lot of kids. Like almost all the stuff I draw is about adults or monsters and stuff like that. Oh right, yeah. Monsters and mechs. Yeah, yeah. Do you like drawing mechs? Yeah. Oh, okay. And you didn't hate it? That's kind of the opposite. Man, I should try it. I want to draw some for like certain ideas I have, but woof, not a natural thing. It's like drawing cars. So I don't really, Yeah. What? Yeah, people love sneakers. What, like? Oh, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's a good idea. And people love sneakers. So if you post that, yeah, people might, that might be something that kind of, gets a lot of attention. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, make a separate one. Make sneaker, sneaker sketch sneakers, Skechers, but not the brand. Yeah. Oh, I forgot I could just do clear on this too. Oh, that's so easy. I'm like doing all these like, oops, manually going to like erase and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I don't have to do that. I can just hit C and hit clear. Much easier. Finally got through that. Yeah, that it takes me forever to do these videos. Like I'm trying to, especially before we hang out, I'm trying to watch like, Skillshare. Brenda bought me a master class last year, which actually is going to expire, which I need to get on. But um, I'm watching. It's good. Yeah, I like it. I'm pretty much the only one I've done. So I did like some smaller ones, like Neil Gaiman does one about comics, which is cool. It's short, but yeah, it's worth watching. Um, and then I'm listening to David Mamet talking about writing, which is he's good. He's a fun guy. He's kind of like it's one of those things with writing though, where like I mean, yeah. He's like, what does he say? He says that quote about writing where like, oh, writing's easy. All you have to do is like stare at a page and wait for the blood to fall off out of your head or something, just from the concentration or so. It's something like that. Um, but yeah, it's like he gets like he throws out a lot of like it makes it too easy. Like it sounds too easy. Like he's like, oh, well, just it's like a pilot. Like he's like learning how to like navigate, like do flight navigation. He's like, yeah. Well, the guy's like, well, if this is the place you're trying to go, okay, so you know where you're trying to go, then you just have to plot a way to get there. Like, it, yeah, that sounds really, yeah. So, but his anecdotes are interesting. I mean, he just had like an interesting life. Like, have you seen Glenn Ross? Oh, okay. Brandon hasn't yet, so yeah. Oh, right, of course, yeah, yeah. But yeah, that he was talking about he worked in a boiler room, like, and he worked in, and he did so, and he like overheard, um, yeah, with like basically like kind of criminals selling like these bad, white collar criminals kind of selling these kind of slightly bogus deals and stuff like that. So yeah, I think he's just good at paying attention and, but he's also really smart though. Like he talks about like the Greeks and stuff a lot. Like so he's definitely done his research and he'll just bring up some like crazy thing. We're like, what? Like this person said this, and you're like, what? Oh, you have okay. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Uh, yeah. Interesting. Okay. From the book, is it worth? Is it good? Like, is it worth reading? Or whose book? I know a lot of people love it, but like Stephen King's on writing. I didn't really care for it. Yeah, no, I just feel like he doesn't say too much. It's just like kind of like a biography of him. Like, yeah, actual nuts and bolts. Maybe I need to go back. I don't know. I felt like I read it and I was like, oh, I didn't really get much from it. Like, yeah. Did you ever listen? Did you? What's that? Um, the Sanderson podcast. Did you listen to that? Did we talk about that? Yeah, that's good. It's like short. They're like 20-minute episodes, and they're like each one has to do with like a topic like plot or secondary characters or world building. So it's really kind of nerdy, which I like. It's like a lot of like science fiction, and I think they even have like a comic writer on there who's part of it. So, but yeah, they'll just go into the topic for that week and be like, oh, well, this is how I come up with characters for world building, or how do I build the world in my thing, or you know, so it's very practical. I think a lot of like practical advice, and I haven't either, but apparently people love his stuff. And I mean, heck, he finished what do you call it, the Wheel of Time, and people said he did a good job doing that, which sounds like a crazy hard job. So yeah, people love his stuff. It sounds like I don't know his stuff. I should read it because maybe I'll like it. But it sounds like he does a lot of like his world building, like magic systems and stuff. Like he gets really nerdy into that. Like, oh, this is how magic works, and it's like very like grounded, and as grounded as something about magic can be. Um, Yeah, and he'll really sit down and be like, okay, well, this is how magic works, and blah, blah, blah. So that way, it's explained well. But I mean, they say his characters and all that are good too. So it's not just like a nerdy thing. But yeah, but I think for people like us doing genre stuff, it does sound cool. Like it's not just aimed at yeah. Yeah, look up, podcast. I can't, something, I can't remember. You- What's it called? Like writing? Writing excuses. There you go. Yep. That's it. And there's like a million episodes too. There's like 3 or 4 regular writers on it. I don't know if they bring in guests or not, but they, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, so they do have people come on. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. New podcast. Oh. Yeah, I can't remember the other people that do it, but there's like a woman who's always on there, and I think she does fantasy stuff as well. And then I thought there's a guy in there who does comics, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that's really good. That's just a good one because they're like all working professionals that are, like yeah, yeah, and they're very, just very factual about everything. Oh, they do this and then that. It's like there's not a lot. They're not hiding or just giving basic kind of like platitudes like go work in a boiler room. Like sure, okay. Yeah, yeah. He actually the master class is really entertaining. Like he talks about like he just goes off on stuff. Like he's wearing like this like sports coat with like a sweater, like a like not a turtleneck, but just like a sweater underneath. And then like he's like, I really like this outfit. And he's like, yeah, usually what I wear is like a sleeveless T-shirt, and I have all these like tattoos. And he talks about like he has like good night moon like tattooed on his back and something. You're like, he's just saying crazy stuff, but it's funny. And I think he's just kind of illustrating storytelling, as he's telling yeah. One thing he said, which was good, which I don't know was in the book, but was like gossip. He's like, yeah, if you listen to 2 people gossip, that's like perfect dialogue, like perfect storytelling because like the pacing and the how natural uh the dialogue was rolling. It's like all perfectly, because we're just naturally like that. So, and I think that was a good point too, is you saying that like gossip is a good storytelling tool because it's like the characters are all telling versions of the story, but they're not like telling, oh, this is exactly what happened, like, blank, like your stock exposition, which is boring. Yeah, so, uh, yeah, yeah. Did I give you my master class? I gave you the password. Shit, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I need to. Man, I would like to buy it again. I keep buying Skillshare again, which I have like I started a Google Doc that's like all the things I want to check out eventually when I have time. But even that Clip Studio one, I think I showed you, like that one took me like weeks to get through just because it is a lot. And yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's also, yeah, you're like, oh, this will be easy to watch or whatever. Like it'll be, it's not, I already know the program, but like when you to learn, that's why I prefer in person classes and stuff. It's like it forces you to really like sit there, and like it's easier to pay attention for me, kind of when I sit there and like, okay, this person's talking to me, and even if I zone out a little bit, I'm getting the gist. But to sit here alone in my apartment and like listen to them talking, I'm like, let me go look at something on my phone, or you know, look at read emails at the same time, and I'm like, man, you're not getting the full, experience. So yeah, Brenda needs to take some classes that her boss will pay for. And I'm like, you gotta take advantage of that, But she's like, oh, I hate online classes. I was like, yeah, but just do like the boring ones or something. You're not gonna like anyway. Try to something like that. Yeah. Well, her boss is pay will help her get her like certified landscape architect, so she can like I don't know, it'll just help her be able to do more things at work. Because I think you have to be licensed to do certain things, like sign off on certain plans and stuff like that. So it will help to yeah. But yeah, I'm like, well, we have time. Like, just you don't really have anything to do. Like, take a weekend class and just do it. Like there's no real before you wouldn't want to do it. Like, no, I don't want to give up my weekend for this class. But yeah, exactly. So I'm getting too nitty gritty with it right now. I've been trying to do this thing where for the first pass of the shadows, I don't zoom in to make them like clean and stuff. It's like no, just make like big shapes and try to have fun with it. Just because like on this bottom left, bottom right guy, I really like that look of the. And I look at a lot of art that has that where they just have these big shadow shapes that look really cool. And I'm like, man, they covered up the whole damn thing with shadow, but it looks cool, And they're like, oh, I never thought about doing that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's great. Yeah, yeah, my brain just. I think we've talked about this before, but I just like my brain. I really like how the art looks, but like whenever I try to draw like that, like I'm trying to do a little bit of it, like more of it with Empty Grave, but it just gets away from me. It's really hard for me to plan. I end up spending so much time planning the shadows and trying to come up with cool shadow placement that it takes me twice the time to draw a page versus just drawing the lines. Just like it's and there's no real reason for it. Well, I mean, it looks nice, but if that's not your style, and that's not like that, yeah, right. Well, yeah, and it's like people like Mobius. He did a little bit of that, but not much. Like most of his art is pretty, that lean Claire, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he does a lot of that, but he has his own thing where he does the tick mark kind of like hatch kind of shading. Like that's his bag, which I think is cool. And that looks cool, but like he doesn't do, like a solid black on someone's face or every. So many people I like Daniel Warren Johnson does do it all the time, but James Heron, like, he does a ton of, his whole thing is like is cool, like these big black shapes everywhere, and my brain just I want to try to do more of it, but it's just I don't know. It's really hard for me to do that and not feel like I'm losing the detail of the drawing itself. The clarity, I should say. Yeah. Plus, me, you, and we're also drawing for color. Like we are planning to color that's, and there's really the reason people drew like that is because they didn't have color, right? Back then they started in black and white, or the color they did was so basic that it still didn't look good. You had to have a lot of the contrast in the black and white to make it look good. Yeah. Yeah, but now it's like I think color's probably more important. Color's super important now because especially computers. I mean, even on our screens, like things look super good on screens now because obviously light's coming out of them. So, I mean, Magnolia still looks good, but to be able to have really nice coloring, a lot of times that will like take the place of other types of shadows or whatever. What are you working on now? I should be using my two screens more than I am. Okay, here. Oh, okay, nice. Is that a Kyle brush? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. See, that's good. Texture's a big thing. Like, even if you're doing simple, I like just like the scale thing I showed you. Like, yeah, doing a little bit of texture in the background and maybe even a flat shadow there will really make it pop. Like, it really adds a lot to like the depth of it. With really, and your eye kind of reads more into it just because of the variation of the texture. You're like, oh wow, it's so detailed. And you're like, actually, it's not. It's like a really simple or great gradient or whatever it is. But then since you put a texture on it, your brain sees like, oh, detail. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I gotta hop off to do. Yeah, I know. I gotta make lunch too because I want to go straight from there to coffee shop so I can draw. Yeah, yeah. So I gotta. Yeah, so it's really close to where I live, but yeah, I need to. But yeah, cool. Yeah, this was fun. Let's do Thursday again. All right. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Peace.